Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. Welcome to this morning edition of our program, The Hour of Politics with me, Anthony C.A., your host. This edition is special indeed because it's about the opposition Liberty Party. For a very good long time now, the Liberty Party has been in crisis. We have with us today as guest a member of the Liberty Party. He has been with the party for a very long time now. Mr. George Kanetule, who is the co-host of our program On Point, is my guest today as we discuss the topic Liberty Party in crisis. Well, Mr. Tule, it's good to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Anthony. It's a pleasure being here. Today is my first time on the Saturday show. I'm so happy to be here, and we look forward to a nice exchange of points and discussion. We just look forward to having a nice time. I just want to welcome all our viewers out there. I say thank you for taking the time. I know one of my friends, I just saw her post just now. She already fussing with me. I saw her comment and it's like, okay, ma'am, just be patient. Spend some time with us this morning. So thank you, Anthony.
Okay, Tule, George Cannon Tule, again, like I said, is the member of the Liberty Party. That means he has vested interest in the party. He wants this party that was established by, Councillor Charles Walker Brumskine, to be sustained politically speaking and be able to contribute to our democracy and the politics of Liberia. But I'm sure he's not happy, and many partisans of Liberty Party are not happy with what's going on, irrespective of which side, each stands. But to discuss this today, folks, the topic again is Liberty Party in crisis. So we have identified some pointers of the Liberty Party ongoing crisis. Number one, we will talk about the election of Musa Bility as chairman. There are reasons to believe that this is one of the sources of the conflict within the Liberty Party. And also the allegation of altering the 2021 Constitution. And the party is not fitting a candidate. That is a source of conflict, I believe. And also that the party is devaluing who to support in the 2023 presidential election. We believe that is another place where confusion or the conflict is coming from. Due payment and suspicion for non-compliance to the due payment is another source of conflict. And another thing we want to add is that the Ganta Convention is ongoing as we speak. Some people even oppose it. And last but not the least, Senator Lawrence also nullify the convention that produced Musa Bility. Does she have the power to do so? That is another source of conflict. We would better have to discuss all these pointers we see as the sources of conflicts within the opposition Liberty Party, other than the man who has committed his time to this party. Mr. Tule, again, welcome, and it is always good to have you here. How you feeling? How's the family? That is Canada, by the way.
Canada is okay. It's kind of like unusually warm for us.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday was 60 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then today it starts to snow showers. So we're here. We love it here. And we bless God for bringing us to this land anyway. So it's an honor being here.
All right. And Mr. Tule, what we're going to do as we dive into these pointers, you will have the leverage to bring in the Council of Brumskine factor. You can so do that. Because of time, let us go into the issue right away. Let's start with the election of Musa Bility as chairman of the Liberty Party. When Musa was elected, some people have qualms, and I believe you having to be one of those.
Yeah.
What was your fundamental reason for which you had issue with Musa being elected as chairman of Liberty Party then?
To answer your question precisely,
Mhm,
I I I I put my hand on my head. I said, "There we go again." We've had the dubious honor of being a party that have established ourselves as a party of value and ideologies, but
mhm,
over the past, this is the third person that have that is leading our party with questionable character,
mhm.
questionable sense of judgment and all of that. I don't hold anybody. I'm not saying I'm not trying to virtue signal, but what I'm saying is that when we established Liberty Party in 2005, there were values that and you all know the values that Charles Brumskine stood for.
Mhm.
But then, unfortunately for us, like we always say, politics do or does make
Strange
strange
bedfellows, they say.
bedfellows.
Mhm,
So in our situation, we had the issue of Fonati Kofa. You know about that. My own in-law, Israel Akinsaya. I had to stand up and basically go against people in the media, in support of him. And then now, so when we came to this, I was like, deja vu. This guy has questionable morals, and this guy, I know him. I know how he came into money. I know that he owed all the banks, and I know that FIFA sanctioned the guy. What were we thinking? That was my thing. But then I said, look, the majority wanted him, so be it. But I want to go back a little bit, Anthony. Just give me a minute to establish something. How Bility came to Liberty Party quickly. I will be very fast. I don't want to belabor the issue.
mhm,
In 2011, just before the election, ECOWAS decided to intervene in the Liberian situation. They wanted Madame Salim to continue as president, and we all heard what she said during that time. What was said? Oh, she placed the country on the right trajectory, so they didn't want anybody coming to upset the apple cart, coming, to reverse her policies or the gains that she made. So even though she had promised the Liberian people in the international community she wanted to be president for 1 year, they said, "Man, I said go." So John Kufuor, the president of Ghana, led a team to Liberia, and they met with Charles Brumskine at Golden Key Hotel, the small hotel just before SKD there when coming from the airport. So in that meeting, they basically told him, "Look, we want to support the woman. We want you to understand this is what we want to do now. But we are also telling you that in 2017, we'll give you our support." Come fast forward to 2017. Just before 2017, ECOWAS intervenes in the Liberian situation again by going and sourcing for money from Aliko Dangote. We all know Aliko Dangote, the billionaire Nigerian businessman. They source for money from Aliko Dangote, and they gave the money. They wanted to give the money to Bromsky. But we all know, I know the kind of person that Bromsky is. He would never accept anything illegal directly. So he told them he cannot take the money directly out of their hands because our law says we can't have foreign money coming in to support campaign activities. So Madame Sali took the money because she was the conduit. And that's how she decided, because they decided to spend the money. They bought the cars, the kekes, the motorbike, and then they rented the office at Cali Junction there, right? But Musa Bility was sent because he's her errand boy now. Even the radio station that Musa Bility I call it Truth FM, it actually sponsored by Madame Salif. So
So before you continue, Mr. Tule, you said the money was intended for Liberty Party campaign.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
it was intended for Liberty Party campaign.
Mhm.
But the money, Bronsky refused to take the money. Even the cars that were bought, he refused to register the cars in Liberty Party name. He refused to register the cars, the
Even though
possession of
those
Liberty Party.
cars were to be used for Liberty Party purposes.
Yes, yes. He refused to allow the cars to be
And
registered
how
in
does
his
that
name.
make any difference?
No, I think it was, for plausible deniability, for the future, that they didn't have direct influence. He was just
And
trying
will
to
you say
protect
that will
himself.
excuse Mr. Bronsky then?
No, it wouldn't really excuse him, because the
Okay, go
fact
ahead.
of the matter is,
Mhm,
even though you didn't accept the cash, you accepted
mhm,
the kind.
mhm.
But Madam Sadi will not look at more than $1 million or whatever, buy pickups and rent office for Liberty
Mhm.
Party from her pocket. That won't happen.
So clearly, to Mr. Tule, it could be like Mr. Brunskin, either directly or indirectly, was aiding and abetting what presumably was a political game, right?
No, but well, it wasn't a game. It wasn't a game. It was a reality.
Okay.
The reality was ECOWAS wanted this man to replace Madame Salif.
Okay.
That was the international community pledge from
Mhm.
2005. I'm telling you.
But you
So
said earlier that was a foreign money, and our election laws, don't allow foreign
yeah,
money to be infused in our campaign. And so he
agree.
knew that and said, "Well, let us go through the back door and not the front door."
No, yeah, yeah. At the
Okay,
end
go
of the
ahead.
day, it's the same. It's the same process.
Mhm.
It's the same breaching of the electoral laws or whatever. So,
Right.
but you know how it looks in Liberia now. You
Mhm.
can't run campaign without money.
Mhm.
Foreign money has always been into our process
Okay.
since 2005. It's just the reality. But he wanted to because he believed in what he believed in,
Mhm.
virtue,
So fast
integrity.
forward.
Fast forward quickly, the money. So he told them, and that's how Bility and White Power came to the party.
Mhm.
Those are some of the reasons. That's how she was treasurer. Okay, she was treasurer, and Bility became campaign chair. Rented the office, renovated it, brought the cars and everything into the party.
All with
So
the acquiescence of Councillor Brumskine.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it wasn't forced. He accepted it. So the election, we lost the election. Right after we lost the election, Bronsky ordered all the people who were using the pickups to bring their pickups and turn the pickups over to Bility. He didn't keep them. That man believed in honor. He wasn't perfect. You understand? But he just believed in some things. Other people who have said the pickups are not at the original pickup, I'm not giving it to you, and it will become a big battle. Say, no, 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 no. We're not keeping anything. Give all to Bility. But by that time, Bility, Madam Sadi had been kicked out of Unity Party. So they couldn't go back to Unity Party. You saw the tape recently released. Belete Kanwe, Ben Sambi decided they were going to support George Weah, but they didn't just do it honorably. It was not just going to support George Weah. It was the way it was done. Okay, so but Belete remained in the party, and then we fast forward. My political leader, when Bronson lost, he made Yombly political leader. Okay, he felt that
And
he
and
had
and,
the
and,
best.
and let's talk about that. Let's talk
Okay,
about that, Mr. Tule, if you don't mind.
yeah,
The way now, in battle or suspended, I don't know which was to you at this point. I know
yeah.
there's this back and forth, but let me say, Senator Lawrence, the way she became political leader for Liberty Party, she was now produced by a convention, isn't it?
No,
And so,
we went to the convention.
what do you make of that decision of making
It
her?
was it was a popular decision by a lot of people. Bronsky was sick. He needed
Mhm.
somebody to hold the fort. We had done it previously. We did it with Franklin Siako. Okay, so there was another opportunity again for somebody else to come and serve in that position to hold, to keep things going while he coalesced while he was looking for a way to get treatment.
And Tule, more to that, this is why some people believe that Councillor Broskin was this dictator, was this king of the party.
King, I agree because we made him king.
Hmm.
We believe in his ideologies. We believe in his
Hmm.
value. We believe in his
Hmm.
integrity.
Hmm.
So we made him king.
All right.
We followed him. I would have, bro. I had accident working. I came from southeast. I was going to Lofa. I had accident on the road. I could have died. Car flipped over 4 times.
Hmm.
I was back on the trail the next 2 days. Okay, so we made him king. Bronsky did not insist. He did not put his will on people. Nobody questioned it. Everybody supported it because at the end of the day, we were going somewhere, and he was the visionary. He was the leader of the party. He wasn't demanding. He wasn't beating people. There were no strong army of anyone in the party. No. Okay, people decided this is the man we believe can take this country. We believe in his values, so we follow him. Even to our death, we'll follow him. I could have taken a bullet for Brumskine. Okay, so we just believe in him. The thing is this: the reality here is, I follow this man because when I heard him speak, and then I traveled with him, I did not see a disparity between the message he carried and the life he lived. I didn't see him cutting corners to chase girlfriends. Okay, I didn't see him being corrupt with money. Did he accept monies that people could say questionable? We know you all know politics in Liberia, but after 2005, he had expended his life savings. So along the way, he made compromises. Those things you can say you fought him for, fine. But when in terms of his honor, that man was honorable. I tell you something. The thing I see Cummings allowing in his name, Brumskine would never allow in his name. Matter of fact, we had a saying. If you ask Israel and Kisai, we used to say it all the time. We want to do something, we go and do it. Don't talk to him about it. But when you tell him, then you'll be in insubordination because Brumskine, 90% of the time, will caution you and say, hold on. Now you have to execute. Then when you go execute, now then you walk in insubordination. So we just go do it, we'll come back and we explain.
Mr. Tule, I don't want to dwell on Councillor Brumskine much.
Mm-hmm.
We know we will go here and there because he is what Liberty Party is, if I can put it that way, right? And may I ask this question?
Yeah.
And maybe I should give you two questions right here. Did Councillor Brumskine do everything right?
No.
To leave behind a political party that will withstand the test of time? That's one. And the other one, and can you say Councillor Brumskine brought up leaders to succeed him who can provide a better leadership?
Yes. Second question, yes. First question, no. Not completely.
Why no?
Why? The first group of people that flocked to Brumskine, you see, because every time people gather, is a mixed multitude. The people gather for several reasons. Many of us saw him as an ideologue. We saw him as a reformist. We saw him as a real revolutionary. He wanted his ideals would have transformed Liberia. So we followed him, not because of how much money we could get or whatever. I turned down a job that Madam Sadi offered me. I would have been the first PR for the Liberian Revenue Authority. They offered me the job. I turned it down. I told them, what would people think about me? Because I believe in this man. So that first question, did he build an institution? When we started the party, there were people, there were ideologues, but like I said, it was a mixed multitude. There were people who followed because they believed. There were people who followed because they saw it as an opportunity to get somewhere. There were people who followed because they felt they could get something out of the process. And along the way, because of the several losses in the election, many of us moved on with our lives. People like Jacob Smith are getting kudos every time. No matter of fact, we got to find ways to be able to take care of this man. That man was the mainstay of the party. He remained. So along the way, there were mixed multitudes. People came, and some of them took positions. They said the things, but they did not imbibe the values, integrity, honor, letting your word be your word, okay? Putting Liberia first, not allowing yourself to be corrupt. These guys came along, and many of them, they were there because when they what we say, the people of value or people who believe in integrity are not there. Those who are there will take the position.
Exactly. So, and Mr. Tule, if you don't mind, my brother, let's look at this. I don't want to come back to the issues that are dogging the Liberty Party now. All right.
No, okay, let me just
let me throw this at you. Okay, before we do, I want to know whether Mr. Brumskine, as a politician, as a political actor, did he carry any political baggage that you know of?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%.
So what's about the Status and Forces Agreement?
The Status and Forces Agreement, it was not a political. He was just a lawyer. And a lawyer is asked to represent his client. His client was the government of Liberia.
All right.
Status and Forces Agreement. Status and Forces Agreement is an agreement between the occupying force and the occupied.
Okay.
And being a lawyer, he had to make sure that the country reserved the right to ask ECOMOG to leave whenever they want to leave. The same thing happened in Afghanistan.
I'll take that answer.
Okay.
I'll take that answer. And so I want to ask my question again.
All right.
There's no political baggage that you know of. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Except you say receiving money or receiving support through Madam Salif. Then maybe that's the political baggage.
All right. So fast forward, Mr. Tule. Musa Bility, who is now the chairman, embattled chairman. But for me, as somebody who try to investigate these things, and you can disagree with me, I would say that Musa is the chairman of the party. That's what we know. Yeah. So my question is, Musa from what I learned, were more like brought to the party by Brumskine. And he was elected. He got the support of Nyomli, he got the support of Dillon, and a good
Can I
number
speak to
of,
that?
yeah. And so let us speak. I know I asked you earlier, and he said because of who the man is, but he is the chairman now.
I caught a shot.
And the question here is that your leaders, Dillon, Nyomli, and other leaders within supported Musa. That was the
Yeah.
party decision.
Yeah.
Going after him for things that are not even being proven in court, all right, it's like you are destroying yourself and not necessarily Musa. Do you agree?
No. Let me, you see, what we see is a facade.
Mm-hmm.
What we are looking at that is being presented to the public is a
Mm-hmm.
facade. The real thing behind this, Musa represents the interest. He represents maybe two interests. Cummings in this thing is a victim of his own greed. Okay? Because the people he's dealing with, the first person in this thing is Madam Salif.
Mm-hmm.
The second person in this thing is George Weah.
Mm-hmm.
They are using Cummings, and he's not even aware. There is no way Cummings can become. The idea is Madam Salif had agreed that George Weah will remain for 2023. George Weah himself benefits from any turmoil in Liberty Party or the larger CPP. It benefits him politically.
And when you got to know this, and when those of you who are saying this now got to know this about Musa Bility, because Dillon even defended this man, Musa and Nyomli were on the same page. Musa helped them with their campaign. Liberty Party was going well. So when did you get to know that this man was supporting George Weah and that he was being used by Ellen Johnson? Are you not giving too much to Ellen Johnson?
No, I'm not giving anything, because let me tell you something. I want to go back quickly. Musa, the reason why you see NEC acted, they sent a letter and they say they're upholding the 2021 Constitution is because the 2021 Constitution stands in violation of its predecessor, the 2015 Constitution. The 2015 Constitution was abrogated to make Musa chair. I will say this for everyone to hear.
How was it abrogated, Mr.
Hold on now. Hold on. I will say this for everyone to hear. It wasn't Dillon and Nyomli that made Musa chair. The people, you see, when Brumskine died, something was.
So it was the party that made Musa chair.
Yes, and the people who you see on the EC that are on his side of the EC were the ones that started. They went to Zago and told Zago, "My man, you chair, but you don't have the wherewithal to run and maintain the party day-to-day activities." This man is saying he can do it. He's already doing it. He's giving us money. He's funding this. He's funding that. So let's make him chair. But don't forget, when the PL, I don't want to talk about this, but I have to. When the PL lost her dear husband, who we all know was a great loss because he was a good voice in the national legislature, this guy used that opportunity. I'm talking about Bility. Used that opportunity to worm his way even deeper into the PL's life, to be her buddy. He gave everyone the assurances that he was an institutionalist. He believed in Liberty Party and the ideals and the values that Liberty Party had, not knowing he was representing his benefactor, Madam Salif. When the party decided, they abrogated the 2015 Constitution because they did not follow the lay-down process to convene a national convention. That was an abrogation. Okay, and apart from that, there are stipulations in the 2015 convention that states that certain amount of delegates as to be convened in any election to have a quorum. They didn't even have 60. Listen to me, bro. They didn't even have 60 delegates at that Banga convention that made Musa Bility, and they should have had more than
Mr. Tule, all you are saying is that the convention that produced Musa Bility was unconstitutional or was unconstitutionally done.
Yes.
So yet it was unconstitutionally done, as you are arguing.
Yes.
And you allow A to be the political leader, the PL you're talking about, supported Musa. Your leader, who is Darius Didon, the guy for political affairs, he even justified for, Musa Bility. So the thing is that this was done You are coming back to it now
Mhm.
because you feel that Musa is supporting Cummings. This is pure politics.
No, it's not politics. Listen, it was the party that made Musa chair. It was the people of the party. No one objected, or at least not openly objected. Even Zago stepped aside. For the good of the party. They agreed
But
for
yeah,
the
you
good of
say
the
it was
party.
unconstitutional.
Yeah, but that does not make it right. That doesn't, like I said, they abrogated the 2015 convention, I mean, constitution to make Bility chair. Abrogation, was he illegal? Yes. But was the illegality accepted by the general populace of the party? Yes. Was I in disagreement? I was. I stated it as a Facebook post that I made to that effect. My point to you is this regarding that particular thing. They all decided for the good of the party. But right after the Banga election, and Banga convention, Madam Salif popped up in Buchanan. I have not spoken to the PL about this, but this is what happened there. She went to tell Yombli, Senator Kanga, to support Cummings. It was all game. So that whole warming himself into her life that Benedict did, and with Dylan and everything, was to gain the upper hand in the party, to have executive powers.
Are you talking about this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about that. When she went there, she wanted her to do certain things. From what I gathered, I may be wrong, I stand corrected. The woman went to talk to her father, who I have followed my political leader, the late Charles Brumskine, to see many times. She went to her father, and her father counseled her against it. He warned her against listening to that woman, because that woman was one of
So
those.
this is political. You disagree with me that it's not political, but you are explaining the politics of it.
Oh, no, hold on.
That
Hold
she was, like supporting Cummings,
on.
not until when her father said, "Don't go that route."
No. I would
Because,
not even say that she was supporting Cummings.
well, there are records to prove that at some point she was more like on board with Cummings.
No,
Because you are accusing
being
Ellen Johnson
amendable.
Sirleaf.
Even I myself was
You are
amendable.
accusing Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Mr. Tule,
Yeah.
that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is doing all she's doing so that things will go Cummings' way.
Not precisely.
Okay,
Just
go
hold
ahead.
on small. I myself was amendable to Cummings until he went to our party headquarters. That doesn't mean I was supporting him. My first support goes to Joseph Boakai. But I was amendable to him. I understood that if he could form an alliance with Joseph Boakai, it gives him a good opportunity to lead Liberia in the future. And I thought strategic thinking. They will have the same thing we went through a deja vu again.
Right.
Before 2011, there were people that worked to merge with Cummings. I mean, with Brumskine. Madam Salif then they put cogs in the wheels, they mess the whole thing up. The same thing is happening again. Go under this man as vice president, and you'll be in the executive a maximum of 18 years as executive vice president of the Republic of Liberia, vice president of consequence for 6 years, because I'm sure Uncle Joe will not want to go for 12 years to run that hard-time country. He steps out of the play because you guys do something on merit. The 6 years you do well, you go to the Liberian people and you state your case, and they elect you as president. You could be there for 12 years, you could be there for 10 years, based on if we reform our constitution in terms of tenure. What is so hard about this calculus that Cummings and his people cannot understand that will benefit Liberia now in the long run? But you allow Madam Salif and George Weah to tell you, look, we will give you support and whatever else, because Madam Salif is afraid of Joseph Boakai becoming president, because he will hold her accountable, including himself. He has said that.
Mr. Tule, there are two things you're saying right there.
Yeah.
And what you are saying is that this political party, Liberty Party, is not a party of its own. And that your party now being controlled by outsiders.
It's true.
And another thing you are saying is you Tule, part of that problem.
How?
By the accusations that you are making, that I want to believe you have no proof of other than just believe
Oh,
me.
oh, no, no, no. Guess what? Everything
Mhm,
I'm saying,
mhm.
I don't have a prima facie evidence to show you paper, because most of these things are held in camera, in discussion between individuals,
Right.
sometimes in dark places.
Mhm.
Everything I'm saying to you is provable and is the fact. You can check it.
Are you
Let me
part
say
of the
this.
problem, Tule?
Hold on now. Hold on.
Mhm.
Belete was called to a meeting of equals and said, "Look, man, let's put this thing to aside. Let's see how we can work on this." The whole idea was the political leader will have a political powers back. What Belete said, he nullified the agreement he had at Farmington. He himself said he didn't make any concessions at Farmington. The reason why is he's playing to a script that he himself he's just a puppet. With a master puppeteer, I call her Madame Machiavelli. She is the one that's controlling everything, because at the end of the day, she has sworn in herself that as long as she's alive, you see, the whole thing is to protect her son
And and,
from
and, and Tula, you are doing the same thing again, because here you are, knowingly or unknowingly, just relegating your party to nothingness, that it
but,
is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that controls
but that's not my
everything in
intention. It's
your
the
party. Then
reality.
are you a
Yeah,
political party then?
yeah, we are. But guess what? Right now, right now, the controls of the party have been wrestled by people who with nefarious intentions. It's the reality. What you want me to come and say and tell you? I say, Belete not chair, Belete not chair. And guess what? Are we going to win in the court of law? It would be very difficult. Yes, because you know the reason why it would be difficult for us to win in the court of law?
Tell us.
Because the turmoil in Liberty Party,
Mhm.
the establishment and the retention of Belete as chair, it not protects, but it fulfills the desire of we are. Because
So you
guess
are
what?
fighting a losing battle. Your
We,
side is fighting a
yeah,
losing battle.
from a legal perspective, but guess what? There is hope, and the hope is in us, the people. Liberty Party are not the instruments. It's not the instruments of establishment that is the party. The
So you are
party
left
is
with
the people.
prayers.
It's
Tule,
not
you are a
prayer.
Bible guy. You are left with prayers.
It's not prayer. I'm not praying nothing about this. I haven't said one word of prayer about this. You know what we need to do? We need
No.
to galvanize the partisans. The political leader needs to get back on the ground. She needs to hold a rally in Buchanan. She needs to bring the people together. She needs to hold another rally in Montserrado and maybe one in Kakata. We will find the money. Hold political rallies and speak the truth to the people. Let them know. Listen, remove the glove. The time for compromise is over, brother. It's time to stand and
Tule,
protect the legacy of Charles Walker Brumskine.
let me progress. Folks in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. I'm Anthony here hosting. My guest is Mr. George Kalentule, the co-host of Focus on Liberia program On Point. Mr. Tule is also a member of the opposition Liberty Party. And with the segment we've been discussing is the election of Musa Bility. And we are now coming to the allegation of altering the 2021 constitution of the opposition Liberty Party. But before we get to that, Mr. Tule, I have a question for you. I believe you are part of the problem.
Oh,
Tell me
well,
I'm lying. Huh?
guess what? I say opinion. Like when I was in grade school, I had a teacher who always said opinion. I like
So
no,
you
say,
disagree with
everyone
me? You
has
are
one.
not part of the problem.
I can never be part of the problem.
Okay, then listen to me. Let me read for you how you have been part of the problem. All right. These are things written by you, Mr. Tule.
Mm-hmm.
On December 8th, you wrote Musa Bility and his minions have no sense. Only an idiot will presume to suspend the political leader of a political party. He done lost his mind. You're speaking like Ingrid, and you put there desperation. Let me read more.
Mm-hmm.
I have been sitting and reflecting on those who support Musa Bility in Liberty Party. Almost all of them have been accused in the past of stealing party money. Now, let me tell you now, Nyomli Kanka Lawrence was supporting.
I'm talking about
Geelong
now.
was supporting.
I'm
And
talking about
many
now.
others. Are they part of those who are being accused? Let me read one more and then I can allow you to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I dare Musa ability to open Liberty Party financial records to show me that he, Musa, paid dues and I will delete my Facebook account. Your response.
Yeah, I said it because guess what? This entire thing about due payment, it
Mhm.
popped up before the Banga Convention.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said to you earlier, I said it
Mm-hmm.
on my show. You were in the back room.
Right.
I said it. I said we have not fostered in Liberty Party or
Mm-hmm.
due paying regime.
Mm-hmm.
It had never been like that.
Okay.
When Brumskine was alive, he wasn't standing and telling partisans, before you can have a voice, you must go and pay your dues.
Right.
The issue of due payment came when when every time they were going to convention, they say, "Oh, we got to uphold the Constitution, so people will pay dues." Then people will gather money, pay. They go have the convention. After the convention, everything returns to status quo. Or
And you said
status
those
quo.
who supported who supported Musa Bility in the past
No, I'm not
have
saying in the
either been
past. I'm saying those.
accused. Yes. So
Okay.
I'll say to you, Nyomli supported Musa.
No,
Delon
but I said
supported
I'm not
Musa.
talking
Many
about the
others.
past. Guess what? I told you this. Supporting is one thing. Listen, they had a relationship. Yombly wasn't the one that advanced Musa as chair of Liberty Party. Understand this. It wasn't Yombly. She didn't call a meeting and
So
say,
those two are an exception,
"Can
right?
you allow me to learn, Simon, brother? You ask a
Go ahead.
question, give me a chance to really establish my point." She didn't call a meeting. There is no record of Yombly calling a meeting and say, "Look, I have decided that Musa will be chair of Liberty Party." I told you. I spoke with the people in Bility's camp. They even told me it's erroneous, and they vehemently were against or opposed to the public view that it was Delon and Yombly that made Musa chair. That's how they explained to me. I'm not in Liberia. They told me they went and met with what you mean with Zago and laid down the facts to Zago that Zago did not have money to run the day-to-day affairs of the party. Bility, on the other hand, had the money to run the day-to-day, so they wanted Zago to step aside. They didn't want confusion. They were the ones that advanced the man. And at the end of the day, they are the same people today supporting him. They are the ones in Ganta having a convention. I'm just giving you the facts.
And finally, Mr. Tule, this is your December 7 post. Musa Bility is just not a criminal, but an unmitigated idiot. Let me drink some tea. I will be back. So you referring to your party, you said earlier that the convention of Musa Bility was supported by Liberty Party. And you
Yeah.
look at the man, you call him a criminal.
But I said it when he was
An idiot.
yes, I said it. If you
How
go
are
back,
you not part of the problem?
you should. How can I become part of the problem? I'm stating a fact.
You are insulting your party here in the open
Yes,
space.
listen, Musa Bility is a criminal. I'm stating a fact, then you say I'm insulting or calling him an idiot. He's also an idiot. It's the truth. He's an idiot because let me tell you the reason why. A young man who everywhere he has gone, he has brought chaos. The only place there's no chaos because he's the head honcho is at Cermex, his oil company.
Right.
He went to the Liberian Airport Authority. We know he went to court because of that thing. He, Ellen Cochran, and other people then went to court. They accused them of corruption. Bility went to FIFA. We know he was sanctioned. So being a criminal is, and guess what? Bility owes all the banks in Liberia, all the major banks in Liberia. Bility was one of those that caused the dissolution of the National Housing and Savings Bank. That's where he got his initial money from to start doing gas business in Liberia.
And yet Brumskine brought him to the party.
No, but it wasn't Brumskine brought him to the party. He was foisted upon Brumskine by that political arrangement. We all know what it takes to run. I have been with Brumskine, my man. We've gone out with 10,000.
Hold
on. I've gone out with Brumskine with 10,000 US dollar change to Liberian dollars. Before the end of the day, the money is finished. Because he's there, give this person this, give the person that, give the person that, give the person that, and we share the money. And then he say, the money finished, yeah, boss, the money finished. Okay, y'all go get some more money. I'm just telling you. So it's expensive to do anything political in Liberia. So when somebody came to say, let's help with the process, and he really wanted, Brumskine did not just want to be president because of his name. Brumskine yearned to bring relief to Liberian people. Because the reality is this, from the inception of Liberia, the Liberian people have never gotten a break. Liberia has always been for those who are in government and not for the governed. You must have talk about it all the time. There are no policies, no lasting policies in place to benefit the material well-being of the Liberian people. That is what Brumskine want to do. From 2005, we formed the party platform with the 4 planks. The whole goal was to bring economic, social, political relief to the Liberian people. Nobody had those kind of plans. Because guess what? When the plan is in you, bro, when you open your mouth to talk, the only thing you talk about is your plan. Listen to what the other people are talking about today.
And you are not talking about plan and calling Musa idiot.
But he's an idiot.
All right.
What do you want me to say again?
Let me progress. Let's come to the other issues here. The allegation of altering the 2021 Constitution. And let us also put in there the idea that your party does not have a candidate. And this is the first time this is happening in the Liberty Party. And this is the reason why you are even divided as to who to support. And let us also talk about due payment and suspension for non-compliance. And let us also talk about the Banga Convention. So the issue of altering the Constitution. Was the Constitutional Liberty Party actually altered by Musa Bility?
Yeah, it was.
And now after that, you had this event that you call the Farmington, what's the name? Farmington
Resolution.
Farmington Resolution.
Yeah, Farmington.
There was an MOU.
Yeah.
And look at the Kumbaya movement. You know, I mean, he's laughing and Nyombli is laughing. Dillon has another propos cup that he had in his hand. I mean, was it all a charade? Because from what I understand is that the contentious issue in the Constitution of 2021, you have agreed that was behind you. So how come now you're going back to that very thing and then this thing is just exploding in your face, Mr. Tule?
Yeah, because the whole idea was this. There were 2 elections that were held. In the entire Banga Convention, majority of the people, Martin Sekula, most of the other guys, I think they went on white ballot, right?
Right.
There were two things. Daniel Sando went against Emmanuel Zango. Okay. Daniel Sando went against Emmanuel Zango, and there was an election here. They had, I think, 58 or 59 delegates at Banga. But when the 2 elections that were held where they cast their votes, the delegates cast their vote, 59 delegates turned to be 64 votes. Emmanuel Zango lost to Daniel Sando. Emmanuel Zango decided that he was going to seek redress because he knew the first thing that the whole convention was abrogated, the 2015 Constitution. So he decided to seek redress. In trying to seek redress, he wrote letter to NEC, he wrote letter to the political leader. So all these things were in the background. But let me just be honest with you. The entire fight in Liberty Party, it has to do with one major thing. Who supports who in the CPP agreement? Like I said to you, Madam Salif, not in out of good faith, decided to align with Cummings to his disadvantage and to the dissolution or the potential dissolution of the CPP. Why? Because Madam Salif has sworn that there's no way while she's alive that Joseph Boakai will be president. Cummings, on the other hand, has mortgaged his position because the first thing about Cummings is, like I said, I just said something last time. I said the man a bad market. He even got a fixed constituency in Liberia. He can't even win. At least Joseph Boakai can say, any day you wake me up, I can win local county. My people will support me. Maryland will not even his district. The people will still vote for George Weah. So he doesn't even have a fixed.
You have 14 orders. If what you're saying is true for supporting who they want to support, but I don't see you faulting Nyombli for supporting who she wants to support, as well as Dillon, and even your very self. You don't fault yourself for supporting. You even take pride in supporting Boakai.
Of course,
I'm not politics.
But the thing is this: why can't we hold the party together? That was my thinking. Why is it that? Because Dillon said,
and whose responsibility is that?
Can I make my point?
Go ahead.
Dillon said he supports Joseph Boakai. I support Joseph Boakai. Yombly will support Joseph Bokai.
Will or is?
Is.
Mm-hmm.
Is.
Mm-hmm.
She supports Joseph Bokai.
Good.
Bility supports Cummings. Fine. Everyone has the right to do it. The issue with Bility is he has to declare the party to support a particular person. No, we have 300 delegates who come from Liberty Party. Let them do their canvassing and let's get there. Let them do their money thing, whatever, in all the political parties. Let's get to the convention. I'm not for block. I want each person one vote. The 1,200 delegates, let them go cast the votes. If Joseph Boga wins, then he's our candidate. So the fight is somebody must have their way. Yombly is not telling anybody that Liberty Party must support. She's never made that statement that Liberty Party. But guess what? To tell you that to remove all pretenses, Bility had already made the statement in Ganta, the convention they're having at wherever they're having in Iba County.
That they have endorsed Cummings.
Yes, they have endorsed Cummings. The party reserved that right. We should go. The first thing about it is this. Think about this. Who suspends a political leader in the party? Who?
Too late.
The chairman?
Too late. Let me come in. let me come in. Good question that you're asking. But you know the answer. That when it comes to the dues payment, it is clear in your constitution, Article 9, Section 7, that when one fails to pay his or her dues, that person can be suspended by the National Executive Committee.
I agree.
And if the person does not come back in good standing in 3 months, the person can even be expelled from the party. So Musa was able to get the support of the NEC. So this suspension holds. It's constitutional, isn't it?
No.
Why not?
Because the present constitution that is there is in dispute. We've not resolved it. The political leader, based even on the present constitution, have the right to revoke record the constitution, and that's why they went to NEC. And then next thing you go follow your in-house lay down procedure.
Until that is done, the 2021 Constitution is the Constitution that anchors the Liberty Party as a legal political entity in Liberia.
And that is because, let me tell you something today, it's not because any ruling comes out of government makes it right. I want to disabuse our minds of these things. It's not because a ruling comes out of government that means it's the right ruling. It's not the right ruling. Is it a legal ruling? Yes, it's the legal ruling. But is it fair, just, and impartial? No, it's not.
And you can argue that, but we are talking about legality here.
Hold on. I said to you that the Constitution was abrogated. Based on those provisions alone, that the Constitution was abrogated, that the way the procedure was laid down by the 2015 Constitution was not adhered to in calling that Banga Convention, is enough for NEC to say, let's investigate. It's enough for NEC to say, yo, hold on, let's investigate. NEC can impanel or commission. I mean, they can put an investigation commission together and look into the matter. Why is NEC saying no? The 2015, so that means all your complaint without even listening to it. This is what we want because it suits a particular narrative. And guess what? All the sycophants I see on Facebook and in the social media and speaking on radio and things in Liberia that are hailing, they are hailing today the judgment of NEC and the courts in reversing something. Who does that? The court places an injunction in the morning, and then before nightfall, the court changes the injunction. How is that done? That injunction means we want to investigate. Was the investigation done? Did they call the lawyers for the parties to look into it? No. Why? Because it suits a particular narrative and it fulfilled the demand of political actors. Madam Salif being on one hand and George we are on the other. So as a result, we are up against the pricks here. We are kicking, we're butting our heads against a mountain. Okay? Can we win? Yes, we will win. Why? Because the people in the party, the majority, I see somebody posting talking about 75%. Do you know what 75% is? Musa has a slim majority in the executive committee. And why? I said something in my post that you brought up. I will go back to it. I'll revert to it. I said to you that most of the people who are supporting Musa from the executive committee is because one, they are disillusioned. Maybe some people didn't even expect Yombly to be made political leader. So from the very idea that Oyombi Kanga, your microphone is off, bro. The very idea that Oyombi Kanga, bro, can become political leader to some people was unacceptable. Because maybe in their view, she did not fit the narrative. The first thing, she's a young lady, young in terms of years. She's not, and maybe her political pedigree. Okay, she has not been around in politics for a very long time. But I can say this to you: I stand fully behind the decision of my mentor, Charles Walker Brumskine, in making Yombi Kanga the political leader of Liberty Party. And I support her leadership 150%. If there is anything
Even
like
though that was not constitutional, you support it 100%. And
what makes it not
you're kicking
constitutional?
against it,
They
right?
went to a convention, and everything on white ballot. The people accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
The people accepted it, and they did not. They did not abrogate the Constitution.
The same way they accepted Musa Bility white ballot.
The difference here is this: when they had the convention, the Vonjeman convention, everybody turned up to that Vonjeman convention. They laid down 2015. That was in 2018. They laid down procedure for holding a convention. You know, Charles Brumskine, he will not abrogate his own constitution. White ballot is a provision. Nobody wants to challenge. It's fine, okay? But I will tell you that Charles Brumskine will not abrogate the constitution to do something. So the delegates were there, and everybody decided they will come together and they will make Yombi head.
Mr. Tule.
Some people did not object there, but I'm very sure they had their objections. So maybe some people said, but she woman must say I woman too, and I've been around. I'm vice president for this, or I'm the vice chairman for this, or this for this. Why they didn't make me? Because they know that you could sell your birthright for $2,500. That's why they didn't make you.
Mr. Tule,
yeah,
Senator Lawrence did something that even Councillor Brumskine would not do.
What?
To nullify a convention. Even Brumskine, we can agree. Let me let my question. Even Brumskine, we can agree, was given all this power by the Liberty Party for political reasons, for the respect you had and trust you had in him, would not go to nullify a convention, which is the highest decision-making sitting of the party. That is what Yombi did. Doesn't that make her look like she has no idea what she was doing?
And how will you say that Brumskine would not have done it? The first thing, let me tell you the reality here. Brumskine wouldn't even have allowed or new convention or new. The first thing, he's a lawyer. The man was a constitutional lawyer, constitutional expert. Philip Banks. He wouldn't. There was no way that a new constitution, that crap that was.
I read your constitution. It's a brilliant constitution. And I can say to you, your constitution is one of the best constitution of all the political party constitution that I've read. I'm telling you.
I agree, but it's the 2015 constitution that was that.
You are only saying it now because the power has been diversified and Yombi does not have that authoritative power anymore.
No, hold on. You gotta let me make my point.
Go ahead.
The 2015 Constitution is not very different. The differences are not too much. There are just some key provisions in the 2015 was changed to give Musa Bility political power that was stripped from the political leader that was enshrined in the 2015 Constitution. Like I said, maybe it was some of the demands, or he cajole himself into her and unsuspectingly thinking the man is he's an institutionalist, that he believes in the values, the legacy of Brumskine. He's with Liberty Party. She acquiesced, and at the end of the day, we know where he is today.
So, what was Yombi reliance to nullify this convention?
But I said to you, the convention because it was an abrogation of the constitutional provision of 2015. That everything how it's supposed to be called 3 months prior to it, they should have had national election of the Corps of officers to make sure that when they come, the officers go as delegates, they were representing the party in at the county level. That wasn't done. Also, again, they after the election, there should have been a precise amount of delegates at the convention. That wasn't done. They had less than 60 delegates at the convention. It wasn't even a quorum. Okay, it should have been about 180, and you had 60. So those are some of the mean things.
And these things have been disputed by the Secretary General, your good friend Martin Seikula.
Oh, no,
all of
he's
these things were done, and that apparently the political leader was not paying attention to these things. He said
he's not my friend. He's a liar. He's lying.
You are disowning the gentleman because you disagree with him too.
But yeah, myself, we're not friends.
Is that how you're going to disown me tomorrow?
We're not even mates. He's not my friend, bro. That's
all right. Let me leave that.
Not my friend.
So, Mr. Tule, finally here, before we go to some comments, the Ganta Convention you follow, and you know that they did something probably you did not expect. Maybe you did. That you expected that.
I expect the worst from these people. So, I thought they were even going to make Harrison Kanye and political
leader.
I don't know what stopped them. They almost did it.
And Tule, you opposed the idea of the Ganta Convention. It went through, and by default, we can say Musa Bility is the political leader of the opposition Liberty Party. This is so much power, and I understand from my inside source that they had about 18 National Executive Committee members there. So what they did is legal and is binding on Liberty Party. Do you agree?
I disagree.
Okay,
I disagree.
Even though they had quorum, they had, according to Musa, they had 11 counties officials representing. That also
did they have the five elected officials? Did they have the 5 elected officials in the county? Did they have the delegates? Because every county is supposed to provide at least 5, minimum of 5. That's supposed to be there.
Well, according to Focus on Liberal Research, they got all they needed and they constituted
a majority to do so. It's not true. It's not true. I can listen. I'm saying this. They don't have all that is needed. The first thing, they did not even hold, based on the constitutional provision, they did not even hold the national election before that stuff. They have not even held that what they were supposed to do since 2018. Since 2018, they have appointees. Listen to me today. They have appointees functioning as county chair. Musa Bility got people functioning as county chair. They are appointees, bro.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this quickly. Let's take a short break. When we come back, and folks, you are watching Focus on Liberia. This is a Saturday edition of the Hour of Politics. Mr. George Kanentule, a member of the Opposition Liberty Party, is my guest. He is also co-host of Focus on Liberia program On Point, and we are discussing the topic Liberty Party in crisis. We will take a short break. We will be reading your comments, but again, look in the scrolling text below. We have the phone number to call 605-313-6004. Enter the code 791403#. We will take your call and hear from you. Mr. Tule will be more than glad to answer your questions. We'll take a short break right now, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jar.
Dennis Jar, thank you. I'm Anthony C. hosting. Let's bring in a little bit of commercial here. Folks, if you are watching us, we want to bring to your attention that a Liberian-owned business has jumped into the money transfer business. And if you want to send money to Liberia, you want to use Konan Cash. Konan Cash is simply fast, safe, way to send money to Liberia and Africa. The website is www.canacash.com, and you can also download their app from the Google Play Store and also the Apple Store, and just say Canacash, and it'll be right there, and you can use it to send money to Liberia. For details, just look in the scrolling text below, and you will see details of Canacash, the easier way to send money to Liberia. Tule, we getting some commercial here. How we doing, by the way? You you are a member of this platform. How we doing?
Well, we're growing.
Okay.
We're growing, and we do things differently.
Right.
That's the only way I can associate myself with any kind of group. I got the Charles Brumskine DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go where I want to go where I know people do things the way with honor and with respect.
Right.
That's where I go.
Okay.
I do not go where people just gather and they do it the Liberian Bassa way like that, as we say. No, it doesn't work for me that way.
Right. Okay. We got some callers, Mr. Tule, so get ready to take your pen and
yeah, I know I'm going to be insulted enough.
No one's going to insult you today.
Don't worry yourself. I already read the comment. Somebody called me. I know Crazy Man Cha. You didn't even know the man who gave birth to me was one of the best Liberia ever produced.
All right,
one of the best.
Let's hear from Alice Chuchu Jones. Mr. Jones, let's hear you.
Well, first of all, I'll compliment something. And Mr. Tule doing a very good job articulating what's going on. But I can't agree with you on a couple of things. The first is you're saying that you're not part of the problem. I strongly disagree with that.
Well,
I think we all probably in Nigeria. And what do I mean to say? You just mentioned here Brumskine as honorable as he was, rest his ashes, will go around with a $10,000 dividend of money, political money, to whoever he chooses or please. And you don't have a problem with that. You say you run a political party. You don't have a finance committee. Your political leaders just have the power to go and give whoever money. You mentioned, of course, the ECOWAS funding. But you, in the same tone, come here and say, oh, yeah, this man will change that bill. What makes you think if you carry on that kind of decision, unilateral decision and control, that when you become president, you won't, I guess, do the same thing you're doing? So I think, your points are very brilliant. You've given a lot of insight into this, what's happening. But the fundamental thing is that we trust political leaders who empower people and with no accountability. Lastly, you think that the elections was to be null and void for whatever technical reason. But the same young lady embraced that process until recently. He was fine with Musa Bility being chairman. Mm-hmm. So I think you're very biased, as you said, and I think Unity Party needs to hire a consultant outside of everybody to come in there and clean up the mess.
Thank you.
Liberty Party.
Thank you.
And all the political party leaders did not do any service, because if you have that kind of power and you say that white dollar is available in the Constitution, of course you have all the money, you have all the power, you make all the decision. Who's going to go against you? So you should do things. Political leaders should make sure that they don't have that kind of authority where other people will not run against them. It should be a shame on them, because that nobody else is going to contend in a party that nobody else wants. So that's my point. Good show, Rod. Good show. Anyway, Anthony, good show. Thank you. And I'll stand by.
Thank you. That was Alice Chuchu Jones. Let's take this other one today. Let's take them all, and you can respond, brother. Let's hear from Fariga. Mr. Fariga, let's hear you.
Yeah, my voice is a little wrong. I got cold, but I was listening to my brother George Tule talking and things. George Tule, I think it's just propaganda, because he doesn't seem to understand what is going on, and he just throwing out a narrative that suits him. Let's look at the history of political parties in Nigeria. Most political parties in Nigeria is built around individuals and not the institution. That is why when the individual goes, most times the institution goes with them. And the reasons how people choose political leaders, they look at the person with the most money and say, oh, you know what, come and lead us. That person organizing people. So they end up and you see the ALP, Europe controls it. You see most other, like the one with, they call it New Guy, Cassell and Kennedy Stanley. Unlike those old political institutions that still have some low in the institution, but they still go after people with the funds to run the organization. Is that the right way to run a political party? No. But Liberia statement that how it is. Councillor Brumskine have run the party unopposed for years. He tapped Yoguri's candidate. Now, what brought us to this point was speed. You cannot be taking major decisions in a party and you cannot put your money there. It's a monkey where baboons are. You cannot make fool out of people that are making. Look, what got us here is greed for power. This thing wouldn't have been here if people had sat down like responsible people and discussing and see which direction they want the party to.
Right.
But the Unity Party, when it came to this measure, they did not come with any reservation to go second. They tried to put it away into it, the old budget added number, using the old election number. I used to see the number.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. What you are saying that is different, you understand, you, Hassan. You
understand can we break the colors and then you respond?
No. He remain on the line because he's talking what he doesn't even understand.
You get your time to respond. Let's take the calls first, bro.
No,
please.
Can he and myself have a dialogue? Because he's talking gibberish. He doesn't even understand.
Tule, you will have your time to respond.
I will say that before he goes back. Before I keep quiet.
Tule, you will have your time, please.
More other private
individuals don't spoil the show. You will have your time.
Party than Charles Brumskine. Go ahead.
Tule, you know how we do it here. You're part of this platform. Go ahead, Mr. Fadiga, please.
We allow a dialogue.
All right. We all part of the whole team. It has been since January, that whole new constitution.
Yeah, and Mr. Fadiga, please wrap it up. We have other people waiting. I'm going to give 1 minute on it, please.
So the new constitution and we are where we are. They always want to change the narrative to suit them. What we are seeing here is the Unity Party feeling defeated that the last Trump card. Look, let me get people.
Please be quick.
We
have to go.
Let me just attack. I wish I had enough time. Let me just attack one line that Tule said, and I wanted to correct that. Cummings can now win no county, and Joseph Boyka won. They got people in Lopa that will vote for him. You don't win election by winning Lopa county. We saw that during the election.
Thank you.
Cummings got a lot of parties to play. You look at the political map. There are so many people you can win election.
Remember, go sit down, man.
Thank you.
Let's talk, man. This guy.
Thank you, Fadiga. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
I'm
sorry I have to do this.
Man has supported
others want to participate.
Yeah, supported
maybe I will reach out to you, Fadiga, okay?
Yeah, reach out to him. He has supported CDC. He has supported Unity Party. I see him, brother, taking picture with Ellis Cummings now. So he's supporting Ellis Cummings now.
Yeah. Let's take the other caller. Caller with phone number ending in 4431 at the name here, PSG Flomo. Let's hear you.
Yeah. How you doing? It's Kilawu Flomo.
That's the
pronunciation of my name.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been listening to the program, and Brother Uncle, thank you very much. I've been monitoring you. I have come on your platform, make comment and ask question, and had a direct conversation with you. But before I go further, I want to ask you on the personal front. I mean, with the entire political wrangling in Liberia, I want to know your neutrality. Are you a neutral and only, speak with people based on your journalistic ethic, or you have an interest in a particular political party in Liberia? That's the first question to you.
Zero interest in any party. No party is qualified to deserve my interest. My interest is Liberia. I'm playing a media role. That's it. No interest.
Okay. Thank you very much. And before I can go ahead with my conversation, I mean, I'm saying it because I monitor you, and I seen that you are you sometimes take far in the discussion,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think if that is on a journalistic, aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, that, it's a very good recipe for your platform. Thank you. And what I want to say here is, there are points that Mr. Ture made, and I totally agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
One, firstly, Mr. Musa Bility, I don't think in his power as chairman or his position as chairman, who have understand the wrangling that was already existing in the party was enough for him to have, taking the stand of sustaining. I don't know, maybe the number is 18 plus. These are top decision makers within the party,
mm-hmm.
and you just sustained them. What do you think? These people, the 18 people, you know how many followers each of them having? They got good number of followers. Let's forget about whether they paid due or they didn't pay due. That was a wrong calculation. Politically, that was a wrong calculation. And the reason why I'm looking at Musa Bility as someone who has very caused terror in the party is, I remember when Mr. Kwame was leaving from America to go back to Liberia, there was an issue of requesting to use the Liberty Party premises to host Mr. Kwame's welcome program.
Yeah, you are right. Kwame's got criticized for that, and I even criticized him for that.
The political leader was never consulted,
mm-hmm.
but it went in the press. And that's how the political leader was, got to know about what was going on. They contacted Musa Bility that nothing should of such take place without her approval. What happened? Musa Bility went ahead and hosted Kwame
Mr. Flomo,
a rival meeting over there.
Mr. Flomo, Mr. Flomo,
yes.
If I may,
yes.
You know that this is all power play. Even Tule knows that. This is power play, and everybody trying to exert their power based on the spaces, let's say the space they each, occupies, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, for me, everything is from the beginning. And when that happened, that brought a friction. You could see that there was already a friction between Musa Bility and Yomdi Kana Lawrence. It started from the alteration of the target. I don't know how far they went with that before it came to the Kwame, saga. I don't know how that ended. And you could see that the party was already splitting. So the decision of Musa Bility sustaining 18 or plus, number of, hierarchy of the party.
Thank you.
It's immaterial.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's immaterial because, if you do that, there's a complete split.
Thank you.
Think about the party official. How many of them you have? And the people you are suspending, these are high-ranking officials. So I think, in the interest of the party and in the interest of
Mr. Flomo, the law is the law, right?
Mr. Flomo, we gotta go.
Flomo, the law is the law. Maybe the mayor is enforcing the law that if you don't pay meeting due, you should be suspended. That's what the Constitution says, right?
Yeah, but let me be very realistic. There are times even the law, it go against you, and you have to find a way to see, how you can fit within the situation.
And be political about it.
But there were other means. There were other means that he would have entered the situation instead of blowing it up.
I agree. I agree. And he chose to go. He chose to enforce the law. Thank you, Mr. Flomo. Thank you for your time. We got so many people waiting on the line. I beg you, please. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Let's bring in Lobo, and then Tule, you can come and respond, my brother. Please bear with me, Mr. George Preston Lobo. That hear you, GM brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spear. I want to thank George in the studio there for a wonderful presentation. Again, let me say this. As a member of the CPD and as a member of the Unity Party, what we wanted to say to the Liberian people is that we are glad that Mr. Cummings have really had the opportunity to truly show himself to the Liberian people. In 2017, it was a lot easier. He got involved in 2016, and many people didn't know Mr. Cummings. So Mr. Cummings was doing a lot of different things. And being that the Unity Party and other political parties were heavily focused for us, we were concentrating on winning elections. So people didn't pay attention. There were a lot of things said about Mr. Cummings that fly under the radar. But I think the past 4 years or so have really been able to expose Mr. Cummings. One, what do I mean by that? Mr. Cummings was being marketed to the Liberian people as this Mr. Clean Hands, Mr. Honest Man, the man of integrity. He's a very good negotiator. He has the ability to bring people together, to unite people. And what Mr. Cummings has demonstrated, given the time to lead, it has proven to be otherwise. I'm glad that he has had a chance to really showcase himself. Because in 2017, while the ANC folks were talking about Mr. Cummings is so clean, he sits in heaven, Mr. Cummings was in Ghana, holding hands with Prince Johnson.
Mr. Lobo.
Cummings was in Ghana.
Mr. Lobo.
Finish my take.
Mr. Lobo.
Yeah.
We are heavily focusing on Liberty Party. Any contribution you
I'm
want to
coming
make to the disco?
I'm coming to his lead. That's why I'm setting a premise for that. The reason why I'm saying this, Mr. Cummings was this guy who we could have elected that would have united Liberia. Now, we are in a collaboration, and there is a problem in one of the parties, which is being fueled and masterminded by Mr. Cummings. The endorsement of Mr. Cummings in Ghana today by Musa Bility, the former chairman of the Liberty Party, I think it's a clear justification that Mr. Cummings has been the single instigator of these problems.
Will you say that about, hold on, Mr. Lobo, will you say that about the ALP that we know for sure supporting Mr. Bwaka? Will you say that about them?
Mr. C, as far as I'm concerned, the ALP have not had internal run. When the ALP have made its position well known, it's tenable. The first thing we need to be very clear about here today.
It's obvious because they are not divided, right, Mr. Lobo?
Mr. C, please, if you want to invite me to have a show with me, that would be fine. Let me speak.
And you know you can always be invited yet.
I know, so please give me the chance. I don't want no interruption. And when the caller just now was asking about your position, sometimes the way you address this issue may raise this concern.
And Mr. Lobo, let me hold you there. No, Mr. Lobo, I will hold you there. Mr. Lobo, I will hold you there. Mr. Lobo, I will hold you there. Mr. Lobo, I will hold you there, and please hold, I will give you time. Mr. Lobo, may I hold you? Mr. Lobo, I'm in control. Mr. Lobo, you have to hold.
Okay.
Now the caller asked a question. He wanted to know whether I have interest, and I said no. And you know I do not have interest. If I'm interviewing you from the Unity Party, I will use the narrative of your opposing side to question you. When I do that, people think because I'm part of that side. You in this business before you understand. You want me to be questioning, or interviewing George Tule, and then use the side he support narrative, then that is not an interview. Then it becomes a lecture. If that is to mean that I have a side, then so be it. But go ahead.
Okay, can I proceed? So let me say this, Mr. C. It is sad that a man who could have united Liberia, the fact that he can't even help to unite the Liberty Party, instead he's a major instigator of.
Is that his responsibility to unite the Liberty Party?
Let me finish now. We are in a collaboration. We are supposed to be brothers and sisters. The fact of the matter that this one individual have been heavily involved in the dispute within the Liberty Party. Mr. C, I would say this, whether we agree or not, it's part of the matter. From judging Mr. Cummings' decision to take his welcome program at the Liberty Party headquarters in the midst of confusion, where the political leader, who they all appear, they go to meetings together, said she was not aware. That itself was a clear indicator, but however, that's not my point. What I want to say is, I want to thank Mr. Cummings. I want to congratulate him on his endorsement from the former chairman, Bility, and hopefully that will help him. But I want to.
And you believe Bility is a former chairman?
Mr. Cummings, listen, Mr. C, we can't go back and forth.
All right.
If the
then thank you.
Party political leader told us that the constitution that brought Mr. Bility to power, or the convention, was nullified, my party have made it very clear they recognize the political leader.
So you see, you took your side too, right? You took your side of a conflict that is affecting the CPP.
Everybody know I have a side. Listen, I'm not speaking about my
when
side.
I say you take your side, you are supporting Yombly Kanka Lawrence. You are calling Musa Bility former chairman.
We are speaking because, Mr. C, we are political parties. We're not dealing with individuals here.
Anyway.
The political leader.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo.
She was the chair of the convention.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo.
The fact of the matter that you could not give me the chance to even get my points through.
Mr. Lobo, you spoke. Mr. Lobo, you spoke. Mr. Lobo, don't do this, man. Mr. Lobo, don't do this. Don't do this. I have to take leave of you, Mr. Lobo.
Let me end on this, though,
please. Few seconds.
Georgie.
This is what I want to say. Oh, God, Mr. C, can I speak? No, George, I say. Let me end on this, though.
Go ahead, buddy.
Mr. Cummings have done his part. the Liberian people will see Mr. Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo.
And that's how we'll continue to judge. It will make the case to the Liberian people. We are glad that Mr. Cummings is really showing his true color now.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo.
And that will make the decision a lot easier for us. Thank you, George, for your deliberation.
Mr. Lobo, thank you. George Tule, let's take the international caller and then you can respond, please. Caller with phone ending in 067. It appears to be international caller. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you could not treat me right. I'm calling from Australia.
I apologize. What's your name? Please,
I'm Sam.
Sam. Australia is not a poor country like Liberia. Let's hear you quickly. We apologize. Go ahead.
It does not have to be poor, you know. In late here, it's almost 2 a.m. in the
Oh, wow. Thank you for making that effort. Let's hear you.
So if I'm calling you this time, you should at least give me a bit of time. Anyway,
thank you.
Fine. You know, for me, I don't want to go the way George went concerning Mr. Cummings. You know, Liberia, we all want the best for Liberia. And unfortunately, it's a shame that the people we thought that were coming together to do better are even doing worse. And regardless of all of the hands that are playing behind the scene that we all know, because Liberia politics is an open society. It's no longer behind the door. Everyone now can see and know what's going on.
Right.
Everyone knows what Musa Bility is doing. Everyone knows what Mr. Cummings is doing, and everyone knows what's going on now. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to be a political whatever to be able to know. But my question here, I want to ask the ANC folks, or people that were bashing the UP that were requesting for block voting a few days ago. On your show, I listened to a lot of people condemn the idea. You guys had tons of shows concerning that. My question now, is this not another form of block voting that they were just bashing the UP for?
No, this is just an endorsement.
Form of block voting?
This is an endorsement.
I agree with you. Yes, the reason why I said it, when Didon said I'm leaning towards black eye, it was a big issue all over the shows. Everywhere. All the shows were busting. Liberty Party, under the umbrella of Musa Bility, just endorsed Cummings. It's not a big deal. Okay? That's how to see it. Now, my next question here. Yombly is still the political leader of Liberty Party. So my question here now, if Yombly pay her due today, does Yombly have the right to call for a sitting or a convention that will overturn what Musa Bility did today? I'm asking my brother that because he's part of the Liberty Party. Can Yombly do that? Then my next question is, if Yombly cannot do that now, what's happening in the Liberty Party? Is there anywhere in the Liberty Party constitution that the Brumskine family can take over this party? Because what's happening, the Musa Bility, the Yombly, the both of them need to be expelled. In my opinion.
Thank you.
The both of them, they need to be expelled because Yombly breached the rules, Musa Bility breached the rules. According to the letter that Ned sent back to Liberty Party, Ned simply said, the constitution that you just submitted to us, hello?
Yeah. Go ahead. Please end your thought there.
Yeah, let me just lay on this point. The NEC told Yombly to go back and do an investigation. And according to Yombly's last press conference, she was acting on the funding from that investigation. And even next, they did not recognize this recent constitution 100%. They were waiting for Yombly and the Liberty Party to go back and sort their problem out and come back to NEC.
Right.
Now, my question here now to the NEC, they already recognize that that constitution that was presented to them currently has an issue, and they recognize there was an issue. And now Musa Bility is acting on that constitution to have this convention he's having.
Point of correction. Next said, you are saying your constitution has an issue. So go and resolve that issue and bring one to us that you can agree on. Until then, the one that you have submitted remains your constitution. Go ahead.
Beautiful.
I like the point you just clarified. So my point here now, Liberty Party got two sides. They got a side of Yombly and they got a side of
Musa
Bility, right? Musa. Let's know Yombly to be the political leader. So all things remain constant, okay? So if Yombly having to meet up with a due payment stuff, if Yombly presents the funding that she read the other time to the Liberty Party, let me say to the next, the Yombly overturn what was done today. You know, the reason why I'm asking this question, the problem in the Liberty Party.
Yeah, thank you. I think you are clear. There are a lot of people waiting. Go ahead, please. Conclude.
Yeah. Okay, so let me conclude on this, okay? You know, I will strongly recommend, this is my recommendation,
right?
If the Brumskine got any part in the Constitution that asks, that gives them the right, it can be Brumskine's daughter or the wife, to suspend all the executive members at the moment, from Yombly down to the bottom, let them do it to save the legacy of Mr. Brumskine.
Thank you.
Because what's happening in the Liberty Party is a disgrace.
Thank you.
To Musa, to Yombly, and all of them, it's a shame.
Thank you.
This would have been easy to handle, but it's a shame that it has reached this far.
Thank you.
For the time.
Thank you. And it's all just politics, because they don't agree. Mr. Tule,
let me come in quickly. Fadiga, who were on the phone just, you know what irked me about, he started, instead of stating his point, he said, I wasn't informed and I was confused. And nobody does that to you or me, and we let it go. You got to stand for yourself. This guy, that very guy you're talking about, come on, man, who's this? This guy, that very guy you're talking about, the guy started first with Unity Party, he and his brother. They supported, come on, man.
On that phone, Tule.
Yeah, man. I can't just cut it off like that, bro. Okay, so the guy they started supporting
Unity Party.
They started supporting Unity Party. They were all up about taking pictures with what he named Amara Kone and the rest of them, creating posts. The thing is, we got the receipts. They left the whole trail, supported Unity Party, defended even when Ellen then murdered Harry Greaves and his body was found behind the mansion. They say the body left from behind. He and his brother, they said the body left from how you call it, Keneja, and it didn't end up anywhere but behind the offices of the person that stood the most to gain from his death. They said the water deposited the man behind the office of the person who stood the most to gain from the man's death. Okay. Later on, they were with WIA. They went against the COP. They joined WIA.
Before WIA Boakai. Before WIA
Boakai. Then after Boakai, I see here his brother taking picture with Ellis Cummings. They have no credibility.
And they also supported Benny Nayure.
Okay, brother, five politicians. I have been with Charles Brumskine since 2005. The only time you see me support anybody is because he is now out of the picture. He's deceased. So I have the right to say I want to support somebody else. But I have never. I sat with Uncle Joe face to face and I told him that I cannot support anybody else as long as this man is alive. These guys, they have no credibility to say anything to anybody regarding Liberian politics. They are hired guns. They sell their influence. I don't know who even believed that they have influence in the first place because they don't even know the facts. Point number 2. This is why I want to go with this.
Yeah, please. There are a lot of colors.
I know. I want to say this. Since the formation of Liberty Party to the end, there were individuals in Liberty Party, some of them are even on that list that Bility say he suspended, who spent more money on the party than Charles Brumskine himself. So our party, following Charles Brumskine, is because we believe in him and not because of the financials. Because I know I have been taking money from people. I took money from people and brought it for the party to spend.
And to
Alex Jones' point, I keep telling Alex Jones, Liberia politically is not how you call it? It's not America.
It's not America.
Yes, the first thing is, if most times when the political leader is doing his stuff, running his campaign, and he take the money and put it in the hands of individuals, instead of using the money for the intended purpose, they will siphon the money. They'll send people with money to go to Maryland County to go and meet the locals in Maryland County and support them with the work they are doing to do campaign.
Thank you.
They take 95% of the money and they only spend 5% of the money, and they come back and give reports. That is what you are dealing with. So America is not Liberia.
Thank you.
The political leader will spend the money. He will give the money to the people themselves so they can go. Because when he gave it to intermediaries, it doesn't reach to the final and not the final users. And at the end of the day, the man is expecting results because he had conversation with people. I will support you, and they don't receive the money, so they get disillusioned. They go home.
Thank you, Mr. Tule. Thank you, Mr. Tule. Mr. Tule, I'm pressed with time. I only have 5 minutes to get ready for work, but we have a lot of callers. We haven't gone to comments yet, but today we'll give the callers the opportunity. And so, callers listening to me, please, I have to go push my cartoon. So I will be giving you 30 seconds each. Let's hear from Henry, phone number ending in 9958. Please, go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, my name is Henry Britton. First of all, let me commend you. Thank you. You remind me of one guy used to work with LBS, having faith, and I hope you continue your good job.
Okay.
Man,
okay.
We follow you, my friend, and myself follow your life.
Thank you.
Getting to that picture in the studio there, you know you're confused people. I just have a question. How you people react to this now? Today? How you people react to this? And
how you people do what? I'm not hearing you. Can you come clearer?
Please read.
How you people react? How you people react to this issue that going on in the party?
Oh, okay.
I still didn't hear you.
He said how you arrive at this CPP, how you derive the CPP.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you please?
Because of time.
Thank you. Thank you. That's your question, right?
Yes, that's it.
And thank you for saying that you love what I'm doing, but I love to be criticized so I can be better. So thank you. Find something that I'm not doing right and let me know so I can change that. Let's hear from John Marlowe.
Look, before I leave. This is why we marching at Iron State. Because Iron State, if you ever hear that news, because the kind of person who the student used to hate us, and the student will get back to him and tell him, say, we like you. Because he will tell the student what he likes about us and what he don't like about us. If you enter somehow, you will receive boo, you will receive happiness.
Okay.
So you want to add in faith. That's why I'm saying you add in faith.
Okay.
Those that in my age, no add in faith, when they tell you, say, break me, say, add in faith, they may be strong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Mr. Mauro, let's hear you quickly.
Nobody bother Brenda Ure.
Mr. Mauro, you're not paying attention. I don't have time. Let's hear from Lobo Magnus. I hope I pronounce it right. Let's hear from you, Lobo.
Yes. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to be on this platform.
Thank you.
But I just want to, I just looking at two things here, looking at the endorsement today. One thing we must look at, the first thing is that 2017, Arizona Committee spent the highest money in the campaign.
Right.
And came number 5, right? Sometimes I ask who advised me at Arizona Committee. Arizona Committee need to go behind people who have substance, who will bring credibility to the party, who will bring numbers. In the Liberty Party, you on the show, let us be honest. How many people Musa Bility can put to Arizona Committee? When they use free money, when God come around, the political leader is more powerful than he. If he's trying to their own campaign, you can go for them in the party. So I don't know who advises Committee. Sometimes the way Committee wastes his money, I think maybe because he hasn't enough. So that's my one.
Thank you.
They're not Committee's money, my people.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo. Thank you so very much for your contribution. Yeah, let me take the last one, Tule, and we have to run here. Let's hear from somebody who I'm going to say have the same name. See it. Let's hear you, Ernest. See it.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions, but maybe too much. So I wanted to ask Mr. Tule, which part of the Farmington Agreement states that which paragraph states that Bility altered the Constitution? And the second part I wanted to know about the Liberty Party thing is that who called the illegal convention in Banga? And can that person who presided over the
Can we move on, bro? We don't have time. Your microphone is off.
my mic is now off.
No,
Not
that
you.
my mic was
Okay,
off, so he didn't hear you. Sorry. Today I had a very important call from the family. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I was saying that
Mhm.
where in the Farmington Agreement that states that ability alters the Constitution, and who presided over the illegal convention in Banga according to Asango's complaint? Who
Right.
presided over that? And is that person culpable for presiding over something illegal? And should that person be reprimanded? And
Thank
can
you.
that person leave an institution if they did not know for a fact how to call a proper convention?
Thank
Should that
you.
person not be sidelined? Those were, I had other things, but yesterday I'm running out of time, so I'll let those two go. I know respond to George Noble thing.
We don't have the
beginning
time.
of
We
the
gotta go. He has to go to work. Can we?
on Costa's allegations. So what was Barker, who's the peacemaker?
Oh, man,
What
bro.
have been
That's
the
me.
peacemaking since all those
You said 30
the
seconds.
various alterations stuff happened?
Thank
I
you.
would like to know.
Thank
And
you.
I think Mr. Cummings was wrong for going to the Liberty Party headquarters. I don't think he should have done that.
Thank you, Mr. Sia.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Sia. My man, the man and I have the same name. Maybe
I know.
we'll
And,
have to
and,
give
and,
some,
and for me, like I said to you earlier, I was amenable to Cummings, but I felt that violation was a disrespect to us, the partisans of the Liberty Party. What Musa Bility needed and what he has is the majority in the executive committee.
Right.
Musa Bility didn't need to come after the partisans of the general party. No, to gain political power. All he needed to do was to convince Yombli to give him some of her political power in our 2021 constitution, and also to make sure that he can pay members on the executive committee $2,500, $2,500, or whatever amount of money he's giving them on a regular. There are people on this executive committee that Brumskine will lay down his life for. And I see them supporting Musa Bility to the destruction of the legacy that this man gave his life for. And I'm taking it back. I question the character. I question the mettle. Who are they? But that's a different discussion.
That's a different discussion. And Mr.
Tomorrow, Sunday, 4 p.m. If you want get more, come to our show. Okay, on point. 4 p.m. on the same dial. We'll be right here, 4 p.m. and we'll go into this thing. I know Jerome gave me and myself tomorrow. I think the roof will fall off, but tomorrow Jerome Gamer and I, we're not talking.
You want me to come and moderate tomorrow?
Nothing else. Tomorrow is my day. I'm talking Liberty Party tomorrow. So whether he's listening,
you want me to come and moderate so you guys can fight?
Yeah, no. I'm already ready for him. I'm ready for him tomorrow. Tomorrow we discussing Liberty Party. But I know he will start bringing street gossip from people who hadn't sent the Liberty Party, who did not imbibe the values and the culture of Liberty Party, who don't only understand what Liberty Party is about. To them, Liberty Party is just a political party that they can take. But guess what? Liberty Party is us. And for us, our political leader is Yombi Kanga Lawrence. Is the person that we see, that we respect, that we honor. For us, Musa Bility is a meddlesome interloper who is very corrupt, and he lacks the credential to be chairman of the party. Is he chairman of the party today? As far as my political leader is concerned, she nullified his chairmanship because she nullified the effects of that Banga convention. And I am with her 100%. I'm with her 100%. Did she make mistakes? Yes, she did. Okay, but she's human. The best of us make mistakes, and she's one of the best of us. Okay, but guess what? She's our political leader. We are with her. We are with the people. Can you imagine? I'll call one name. Musa Bility had the gumption, the temerity, the audacity of a broken record to add Deba Allen's name to that list. The money he has spent with Liberty Party paying people, it cannot even reach a fraction, 1/5 of what Deba Allen spent on Liberty Party. So let Musa go find someone to sit down.
And Mr. Tule, final question. I don't have time. You will have more time on the show tomorrow. Are you a due paying member of the Liberty Party?
No, I have not been paying dues.
All right. I
Because
appreciate
like
your
I said to you,
Mhm.
we did not have a due paying regime at the party.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody can show you this is the due payment book for 10 years or for 5 years. No.
Mhm.
Dues only came into play when they say you gotta be in good standing for how you call it, you want position, you gotta be in good standing for the position. Then people pay some more money, they go for that thing. When they come back, everybody go. Because
I agree with you, Tule. I'm not interrupting you. I agree with you. All the parties are like that. And not only political parties, all our organizations are like that. People don't pay dues. So, and again, the reason Musa did this is not a justification. It's just the truth is that they disagree now.
Yes.
They're not on the same page.
Yes.
And
So
that's why he did what he did.
Yes.
And that's basically what it is. And Mr. Tule, we can, say thank you enough for coming on the Hour of Politics. Let's see if we can do this as often as possible. Folks, in cyberspace, this is how we will come to the end of yet another exciting, informative, balanced, real journalism here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. To those that are disappointed that I pissed off today, I apologize. I'm just doing my job, and you need to understand, I'm human. I made a mistake, but I will not apologize for doing this for Liberia. For Liberia only, I do it. The song says we are all Liberians, and that song is taking us home. Tule, again, thank you. Watch out tomorrow for On Point. Tule will be on fire, and later at 3 p.m., Focus on Liberia Marketplace comes on. They are attacking corruption and the Magnitsky Act. Oh, big one on the government. Don't miss it. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Liberia.